Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another episode of the CFTV Preview Show, the Chelsea Fan TV Preview Show, with myself and Kev as well. Good to see you, mate. Before we get started, shout out to the sponsors, Match Bingo. It's bingo with a twist, so a little bit different. Instead of using numbers like you would normally, you have different scratch card lines, and it's things that happen in a match. So you could have maybe a player needs to hit the post twice, or you need to have 5 goals in a game to scratch out your lines. And the more lines you scratch, the more money that you win. We had a guy called John the other week. He won 75 quid off of a £2 bet. So don't get me wrong, you're not going to become a millionaire, but it's a bit of fun, boys. And if I'm totally honest with you, following Chelsea, I think that we need a bit of fun at the moment because, yeah, the results and the matches speak for themselves. But yeah, Kev, mate, how you doing, and how you feeling going into this Spurs game?
Oh well, before we recorded, I just woke back up because we're recording pretty late on. Having a bit of sleep, but we're back up for this previous show. It's a massive game. Feeling better. Feeling at half time, I was thinking this is it now. This season's done. But we kind of brought it back. It gave us a bit of hope going into this Tottenham game that we still can potentially push for these European spots. But it's just been the same thing all season. We've been saying the same thing. Can we push for these European spots? And we seem to be getting nowhere near it. And the games that we should have won, we withdrew. The games that we should have lost, withdrew. It's just been the same consistent pattern of performances and injuries costing us. Like I said in the post game analysis on Saturday, when the Sars is your most experienced player on that bench, it's time to start worrying. And when he's now injured, what the hell's happening? But we'll come into that after.
And Thiago Silva, mate, he's out as well. So the back line against Spurs kind of picks itself because there's no players available. I mean, in terms of defenders, if we're going to list them all, I mean, Reece James is obviously out injured. Gusto still doing rehab. He should be available for West Ham. That's what he told me, at least, when I went to visit the training ground. Who else? Fofana's out. Levi Colwell's out. Ben Chilwell's out. Is Cucurella out as well? No, I think Cucurella's fit. Cucurella's fit.
I'm just looking at this here. So the Tarsi, Thiago Silva, Chukwuemeka undergoing rehabilitation, Gusto continuing his. James, Sanchez, Sterling, Okuchukwu just got back in training, so not fully fit yet. Lavia, Fofana, Enzo, Chilwell out for this out for the season. So King and Cole will just start training, but not fit. So that back line, tomorrow is going to be. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
No, we know what it's going to be. It's going to be Cucurella on the left, Badiashile, and then you're going to have.
There you go. Who? Chalobah.
Oh, Chalobah and Gilchrist.
Yeah. But that is awful.
Oh, mate. That is terrible.
And you're playing against one of the best attacking teams in the league, so. Well, we don't wish to go into even excuses because if Tottenham do beat us, we can't, if we beat Tottenham tomorrow, we can say that we've done well. But if we do lose, as much as I don't like making excuses up, come on, man, look at this team.
I will say this. I actually quite like Cucurella this season. I think Cucurella has been so underrated.
He did make a mistake for their first goal on Saturday, but that's probably the only one. What he did make a mistake against Arsenal as well. I think as well.
Well, Arsenal would put it on everyone. I mean, even with mistakes, Cucurella is 10 times the player that he was last season. He's definitely improved, and I really hope that we don't sell him. I hope that we keep Cucurella. I mean, the fact that we've got a proper left back at the club, just use him. Why do you need to try and always look for something better? You know, I think you can develop Cucurella more. I think he can improve. He's still young, and he's solid defensively. Maybe not going up, but for what we need when we have stability at the back, I've always liked him, especially this season, not so much last season. And then Baddy issue, I think he needs the game time. I mean, it's not ideal, is it? And him and Chalobah, that partnership, nobody really wants that. We'd obviously rather have Silva in there, and you might squeeze Disasi in with Silva potentially, and then Gilchrist on the right. Nobody wants to see him there, but you're so limited with options. So, I mean, the way we have to play, we've got to sit back, we've got to counter. I don't think Pochettino really ever goes with a low block, because I think if we had more of a low block.
So you think that we're going to sit back against Tottenham? I don't think that'd be the case. I think.
Well, I'm not saying that we're going to sit back, Kev, but I think we're going to be pinned back.
Tottenham are a high pressing team. Yeah, it's true. Tottenham are a high pressing team, and they're defenders on the halfway line. That's how he likes to play. But I think we'll have the majority of the ball. I think Tottenham will do the more of the pressing. I think they'll try to win the ball in our half, but that will leave spaces for us to get in behind. So if we play our game right, that's where we'll get joy. But we just don't know who's turning up. We just don't know who's playing. Like I said on Saturday, who's fit, who's not fit, who's starting, who's up for it. It's just a mess, mate. And to think that there's already 4 games left of this league, Premier League season. We've been saying this from right at the start. It's not changed since the first game of the season, these injuries. And we're now, the season's nearly finished, Alex. And we're still talking about, we've got more injuries out now, 14, than we have all season. So how the hell is this? Usually towards the end of the season, players are fit.
They're coming back at least, aren't they? But no, they're just dropping like flies.
This is the end of the season. Like, this is where players are fit, because your body goes like that. You hit your peak at January, and then we start going back down towards pre-season, then we go up again in terms of fitness. So what the hell is going on? Something's got to be changed for next year, because we can't continue to. This is going to kill us next year again, because if we do get into Europe, I'm concerned that you're getting 14 injuries without a European competition. Imagine if we do get European competition.
Wow.
What player? We're going to have we've got a youth team now. We're going to have the complete Cobham team playing for us.
It looks like it's a bad shout promoting some of these players, but we are still promoting players. Like, when you look at the players that we've developed in the past couple of years, I mean, we are still bringing some players through. Alfie Gilchrist, obviously Gallagher. But I think we're going to see more players like Hutchinson come through. I'd love to see him in the squad next season. He's been doing a great job for Ipswich. You know, we've certainly got avenues to continue to develop these guys, but all in all, it's there's so many question marks that you don't know where the answer could be, because Pochettino obviously has a very rigid training regime, but he didn't have these problems at Spurs. He didn't have these problems in Paris. So this is a Chelsea issue, Kev, which makes you look at the medical staff.
It's amateur. We had a decent medical team before these new owners came in. And because they didn't want anything to do with Roman Abramovich, they've taken them out. They haven't done. They've probably just hired anybody possible. There you go. Here's a job, and they're not doing the job properly, Alex. Look, rehabilitation program for Nkunku has been 4 months since January, February, March, April, winter, May. 4 months of rehabilitation on what is meant to be 4 weeks. It's been 4 months. So there you go. Proves there for us to see. So. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's shambles. And us fans, we can't continue to see this shit next year. But these board members need to be playing. Like, now, we've got 4 weeks left to the end of the season. We've got 3-4 months of the season starts again. It's that quick. So they need to be planning from now how they're going to change this round, because we can't
Well,
have.
they are going to be planning, Kev. They are. I mean, one thing
Yeah,
I
but
will say, Kev.
changes need to be happening now, though.
Well, you're right. You're right. For me, I've said what I think about Poch. I did a video about it not long ago, and I think that even with this mess, I don't think that it's necessarily a smart idea to sack the manager. I really don't think. I think that we've got to the stage now where they're talking about a process, backing a manager. Right. Okay. So you're going to back Graham Potter? No. Oh, so you're going to back Frank Lampard? No. So you've got 3 managers now. You're on to your 3rd. If Pochettino gets sacked, Paul Wood-Stanley, Lawrence Stewart, they have to go. That's the way I look at it. You cannot continue to paint this up as a project. It is not a project if you keep changing managers. It's not a project. And by the way, there's all these rumors about us being linked with Sporting's manager. I don't even think he's a bad option, to be honest with you. If we missed out in Europe and we brought him in, like, I'm not saying I have anything against that, right? But what I am saying is people really... fucking hell. This is a really late one, guys. It's midnight when we're recording, by the way. People really think that a manager's just going to come in and everything's going to change. And that can happen if you have a team of top players who are underperforming. I don't think we have a team of top players. I think we have a team of mediocre, average players who, honestly, a lot of the time, they are playing to the best of their ability. They're just not fucking good. And that's why we're lingering where we are in the table. And obviously some of the poor recruitment as well, in terms of winning now. I mean, that's been shocking. So for me, if they do keep Poch, that tells me that they actually believe in the process. And then I will support that, if that makes sense. If they can't believe in their own process, I'm not going to believe in it. So for me, if you can't stick with the manager you chose, if you don't believe he can do that, then you're the problem for hiring him. So get another manager in, no problem, but somebody else needs to work with that manager, not you.
Of course, to the problem, Alex. Of course, to the problem. We don't. Tuchel, we're going back there, but there's no need to get rid of Tuchel. Just let Tuchel continue. But because they didn't want anything to do with the previous era, they got rid of him and brought in Graham Potter. And from there on, what's happened with his club? The decline. And unfortunately, Pochettino's coming in the back of it, and he's coming into a mess. And yeah, okay, it's been unfortunate for him what he's been dealt with, but at the same time, he's not been good enough as well with some of the tactical decisions, in-game decisions, errors. He's not taking accountability for some games where we underperformed as well. So I believe there is better managers out there. But that in mind, I do think if we had better players and a fit squad to choose from every week, I don't think we'd be in as bad a position. So maybe he does deserve a bit more time, but only time at all. Because right now, as we speak, this is not a successful season. If we don't get Europe, it's not. It's an unsuccessful season. But no. if you're a realist, then you're not just someone that jumps on bandwagons and partiates and jumps on stuff. I don't do that. I see things from what I see myself. We've had a lot of injuries. That's what's the main thing is. Just think, if you're a manager at any level whatsoever, yeah, and you've got one player in 1 week, one player out the other week, one player in 1 week, you're having to mix and match your back four, mix and match your midfield, mix and match your attack. You've not got no stability within your team. You're going to have problems because you're having to play players that position. You know the players can't last. He knows some of the players can't even last 90 minutes. Look at Gusto. Gusto has not been fit for months. Comes on, he's always limping up after 70 minutes every game. So I just think he's had a hard task. So I believe if he did have a fitter team, better medical staff around him, better players around him, he'd probably do a bit better. But still, he's got to improve some of the decisions he's made as well.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I would say this: I don't think Poch has really put the pressure, like blamed the players. He has in certain instances, but I think that's deserved. If I'm totally honest with you, I think for the majority of the season, he's just taken the heat himself, and that's one of the reasons the players are actually playing for him is because he is defending them in the press, and you know, I'll give him that. But you know, nobody cares as long as you get the results. It doesn't really matter as far as most people are concerned. Especially when you look at what Ange Postecoglou's doing with Tottenham. You know, they're certainly up there competing. I think top four might be a bit of a stretch now with the way Villa are playing. But
They still
European
might get Champions League. They still might get it. They still might get it yet. So
I mean, they're still playing for it, definitely.
yeah.
So I mean, they've got a lot to lose.
Tottenham have been one of the best. Well, we hate to say it's Tottenham end of the day, but you just got to be real. Tottenham have probably been one of the best teams to watch on the eye. How they have not changed, and even in the return fixture against us at the new Tottenham Stadium, even when there was 4-1 down, they were still trying to play, still on the halfway line, still pressing high up the pitch, still trying to get in behind us, still trying to play. And it's all credit to the manager. You've got to give credit to what they're trying to achieve. The Tottenham fans wanted this style of football. They moaned about Mourinho. They moaned about Nuno Espirito Santos with their style of football. So now they've got an attacking manager.
They had
They're going to
as well, mate.
yeah, true. Yeah, so there you go. So they're gonna concede a lot more goals, but in the same time, at the same time, they're going to score more. So they're completely happy. I've got a good mate, and he's completely happy. And she says, yeah, this is what Tottenham fans want to see because they know they're not going to win cups. They're not getting anywhere near them, but they want to turn up and enjoy the Saturdays, and they're surely getting that with this style of football.
That's the thing, mate. And that's one thing I also think Chelsea fans struggle to appreciate at the moment, Kevin. Rightly so. And obviously we've been trophies for such a long time and we still haven't won a trophy under Clear Lake. I mean, that just says where we are in terms of the direction we're going, especially in the short term. But I personally have really enjoyed some of the small successes that we've had. I remember Man United, even Villa, mate, the other day. I mean, that was class. If it wasn't for the referee, I mean, you remember those days for the rest of your life, you know. And
we were just going to touch up on that as well. I've sent you the video. What do you think now? Obviously, I've seen everybody's fan cams and everyone saying that we've been robbed, but still to this,
we were fucking robbed, Kev.
No, that was not that was a foul.
No, you say it's not a foul. It's not a foul.
See, have you seen the video I sent you?
No, you didn't send me a video. I don't know what video you're talking
about.
Oh, the Instagram video.
Yeah, but it's like that in his back. It's a foul.
No, I've seen the shove, Kev. I've seen the shove. It was soft, mate. It was
it's
soft.
A foul.
If the defender had any balls, he wouldn't have got out of the way.
And any shove in the back is a foul. And I'm speaking.
Kev,
I was speaking as a Chelsea fan.
It's not. It's a 50-50. And Baddy if you won it.
It's a push in the back. It's a foul. If that was outside the area, it'd be a foul. So it's like
clear and obvious, Kev. That's what VAR is for. Clear and obvious. Remember this. If it was so clear, if it was so obvious, why didn't VAR just correct the decision? Why didn't they say, "Listen, mate, it's a penalty"? That's what they do sometimes. Why does it take so long to come to the conclusion that it needs to be checked? If it's clear and obvious, it wasn't clear. It wasn't obvious. Give the goal.
From where I was sitting, this is why I didn't celebrate, Alex, because from what I seen, it didn't look like a foul. I'm being honest.
I saw the shove as well in real time, and I did think to myself, "No, VAR, I'm not going to give this." But it doesn't mean I agree with it. I still think it's shambles, mate. Refereeing's worse than the football, mate, and that's saying something, Kev. Yeah. That is bad.
Well, the Villa game, like we're saying, the second half. If we want to just go off the previous game, we'll leave Arsenal at this preview. We'll just forget that never happened. But it's going off the Villa game. Second half, good. a lot better. Madueke, especially, brilliant. One player that really let me down, and he's been letting me down once again. You probably know what I'm going to say. Just isolated out there on that wing. Just didn't want to move for the ball. Just looked like he wasn't interested.
Who?
It's Mudryk.
Oh, Madrid.
Players didn't even look like they wanted to pass to him because he's either running into a dead end or giving the ball away. I just think it's time for him to be looking to get a loan. His confidence is clearly gone. There's something ain't right there. But in respect of the rest of the team, second half exactly what we want to see, and to think that's probably our second string. To be truthfully honest, that's probably our second strongest team on paper. The fight was there, and like my old man said, we've got to fight. Even against Tottenham, if Tottenham beat us, we want to see that same. We want to see second half performances against Villa throughout the season, regardless if you've got Alfie Gilchrist or Reece James right back. We just want to see our team not getting a heads down because I had no hope for that team going in the second half. I thought that was it. When I went for my half-time brew, walked back out, I was thinking, I'm just here for the banter. And they turned up. It was like flipping one of them sand things around. Total different game. And the thing is, we have not seen a Chelsea team do that this season. Probably one of the first times I've seen Chelsea team come back out second half better than the first. Usually we have a good first half and a shit second half. But this week, it was a crap first half and a good second half. So whatever Pochettino said in that dressing room at half time, if you give him a drilling or whatever you've done, he needs to do it consistently because he definitely got something out of them second half against Villa.
It's true, man. It's true. Just to touch on your point about Mudryk as well, I agree with you. I think the guy needs a loan. For me, he was getting to a very good standard in January, February. He was starting to hit some good heights in terms of his performances. I was impressed with a number of games that he played, and then I felt that Pochettino mismanaged him, not giving him the run out the next game. But I mean, there must be a reason for it, Kev. Because also you've got to think about when he does get his opportunities, sometimes he's shocking.
He's not taking any chances, Alex. We had this conversation a few months ago. We're saying he doesn't really get his opportunity. He has had his opportunity now. He's played 20 games this season. Okay, he may not have played the 490s, but it doesn't matter. Whatever amount of minutes you play is your time to prove yourself. And when you're hiding like you are against Villa, he was hiding. Like, look, we're not stupid.
I don't think he was hiding, Kev. I'll be honest with you. I actually thought Mudryk was giving it a good go. He was just crap.
But when he wanted to when he got on the ball, he was giving it a go. But it's not about what you do. It's not about what you do on the ball. It's about the work you do off the ball, like defensively chasing back. And when Cucurella was getting the ball and he wasn't showing on the angle, he was just literally standing there. He was not even putting his arm out, just standing there. So Cucurella automatically came back inside. Because for me personally, when I was playing football, it's the player what makes the pass, not the pass what makes the player. So if you're hungry for that ball, when I was playing winger, I used to drop in. I used to be like, yeah. Feet. You want to see, you know what I mean? You want to see a bit of that. In what playing in that game did you see Mudryk dropping and calling for that ball?
Mate, he never does that. His positions are shocking, mate. In terms of the way he reads the game, he's one of the worst players I've ever seen at reading the game.
He's got all the ability in the world. I just think he needs a season or two away from Chelsea just to develop his game.
Mate, that might be a good shout.
Anywhere, just a couple seasons away, because you're talking about one of the ability-wise and on a prospect front. You're looking at one of the class. For me personally, if we got him to the player what we want to see, he's going to be a good player. But right now, he's nowhere near it, and I think his confidence is gone. So unfortunately, he's got to be looking to move him on.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I mean, what's your score predictions going into the Spurs game?
That predicted lineup first. Oh, we've done the lineup already, haven't we? Well,
we know who's going to start on the back line. I mean,
there's actually, to be fair, Alex,
itself.
there's not even no point doing the predicted lineup because we've got 14 players out. So it's just like, if we had a full squad, we could then say on form and this and that. But right now, it's just everybody's fit. So
well, we know the back line. We're going to have what Gallagher and Caicedo, Palmer in the 10, Madueke on the right, and then it's either Sterling's out. So then you're going to have Modric on the left and Jackson up top. Brilliant.
Yeah. So in answer to your question, I just find these predictions the most hardest part of the conversation now, because is it going to be the Arsenal Chelsea? Is it going to be the first half Chelsea? Is it going to be the second half Chelsea? Is it going to be the City, Emirates Chelsea? There's like four or five different Chelseas right now. I just don't know which team's going to turn up. Considering the form we've had at Stamford Bridge, which has been good, we haven't lost a game there in a while. I think that'll be one of the reasons why we will get a draw. I think it may be 2-2.
How many 2-2s this season, mate? We've had so many.
It's as low as the draws, though, isn't it? Think how much draws you've had, is it?
Yeah. If I'm honest with you, Kev, I think we'll lose. Especially because Tottenham just lost to Arsenal. I think that they'll probably lose to City as well in the next game. I think that I think for this game, I think obviously tactics plays everything, but timing is everything in football, and timing suits Tottenham, not us. They need this win. They were trying to get European football. We'll take what we can get, but our squad is pathetic. I mean, it's rubbish, mate. It's so poor. It's terrible.
I'll just looking at the.
I'd be very happy with the draw, Kev. I'd be very happy. Like in terms of what we're working with, obviously we know we need a win.
The only grasp of hope I've got is that we've got decent home form, and just going off what you said. I picked up my dad's. I literally went onto my football app, and I was just thinking what Pochettino will be doing at half time. And when I looked at that substitutes, I don't reckon. Caicedo and Disasi was the only players. Washington, Caicedo, and Disasi, literally. We had number 67, number 55 on the bench. Like, who were these guys, bro? Like, I'm looking at them warming up, and I'm looking and thinking, who the hell's that? And it's happening all the time now. Like, it's this, yeah. So,
well, I'm saying 2-1 Tottenham, mate. I don't think we'll win. I think we'll lose. But listen, guys, if you've been watching for the whole video, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, check out Match Bingo. Click the link, download the app. You've got to be 18 or over to play. And yeah, I mean, if you are any more hopeful than me and Kev, then you're a very positive person, because I feel like I'm pretty optimistic. And generally, we try and be quite positive on the previews, but struggling to see where we win games and how we win games with the players we have available. But all the best, guys. Like and subscribe to the channel, and we will be back in the next video.